perfect product. I mean, I bought this at the bedwetting store years ago, before PeelAways, and it was, and it didn't. You'd still end up with leaking through and stuff like that.
All right, no, I'm so excited for you to show the other products.
Yes.
And I am just getting the screen to.
And this is what Adrian's 31 years old, and then when he was 15, they told us when we do ever get him into a group home, then we need data that he needs a nighttime awake person because he needs one-on-one support. So since he's been 15, we've been taking data every night on him being, how many times he wakes up and everything.
And they require that for you to?
Just because we had a meeting, and one of the people at the meeting said that we should take that data, which because he does need one-on-one support, and he can wake up. Last night he ended up waiting. He woke up 7 times, but when I got him up at 7:30 this morning, he was wet. So of course I had to, which I listened to you, and I didn't put on a new sheet on top of the PeelAway, because I'm like, yay, I don't have to do that.
And it worked?
Well, I put it on today, so we'll see how he does tonight, because I figure, you're right. I think because with this, I always had to have a sheet on top of it.
Yes.
Right?
Not anymore. I'm so glad
Exactly.
that this is why it's so important and wonderful to chat, because you teach me so much, and then a little vice versa, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
So,
and and also I hope you get a hold of like AARP and the NORD, the National Organization for Rare Disorders, and some of the other ones like Special Olympics.
yeah, I mean, you have been an inspiration.
And Ernie Els, because of his autistic son, and Autism Parenting magazine. Anything you can find, somebody's going to say, oh, this is a great idea. Thank you.
No, I am so thankful, because I have reached out to Ernie. I reached out to his organization.
Mm-hmm.
And I just know it's a funny week because of
the weather.
The weather and everything going on. But
yeah.
This is all such wonderful advice that I'm not fully familiar with. So I am so thankful for somebody who's living it every day, and you use all of the the tools that you share with me,
yes.
because I didn't know these things exist. So I'm so thankful.
Well, it's not that. Like the National Organization of Rare Disorders, even if you just go through it and you say, oh my God, look at all these organizations, look at all these things. And I would say that Adrian is obviously not the only one who at 31 years of age still has toileting issues at night, because of their special needs or their disabilities, or somebody with like ALS, or, where they used to be, fine at night, and then as their disease is progressing, they're not. So that's what's great about NORD, National Organization for Rare Disorder. Mm-hmm. There's so many. There's things that you've never even heard of that people have, and you're like, how does anybody survive being typical anymore?
I couldn't imagine. The more I study this industry, and since we had our last chat, there's I think about a population of 2.3 million folks that are in very similar situations. And last time, I was just you made me cry, so I'm going to try and keep my cool this time. That's why I was a little scared. I was like, oh, I got to breathe. I'm just so thankful that you're willing to continue to tell your story. And
I really want you to be in business forever, because you have the best product for people with disabilities to have a good night's sleep, or and their parents, where Adrian, when I woke him up this morning, I was like, I can't believe he's wet, and rip it off, the fresh ones underneath, and you just put the comforter on top, and he's ready to go for tonight.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry again.
But it's true.
I gotta get you on the road with me. This is it's so thankful because I am doing everything in my power to spread the word. And in many cases, I'm the face of the business, but I've never been there. I've never done that when it comes to situations like this, when it comes to caregivers. I invented it for myself in college, sort of just as a clever way to change sheets faster. Everyone knows they have to change their sheets, but they simply don't. And so when it comes to people that could use the product, people that should use the product, this is where the product became a need. So when you tell your story, it helps relate with so many other people out there. And I'm so thankful you're so appreciative and easy going and talking about the story and comparing, contrasting.
Well, I think it's really great that you want to talk to people who are using your product to see what they say. That's why I was happy to talk to you.
I'm so thankful.
I'm
going to keep you close.
You care about your product enough that you want to know what your clients who are buying them think.
When people say, entrepreneurship or being a business owner is, you make your own hours, you have your own time, and I go, no. I worship my customers. I mean, this isn't just a tchotchke. This isn't just a gizmo. This is something that is actually changing people's lives. And so I have even deeper meaning than just having a product. And, you made me cry last time. I'm about to cry again. So it's so wonderful talking to real users who's been around working and buying our products with their own hard-earned money for, almost 6-7 years now.
Yes.
And I'm so thankful for you to help spread the word and tell the public about the real life situations. And the way I look at these is, since I'm not living this every single day, I like to consider this me being like a fly on the wall. When are you really using it? How does it make you feel? How does it make your son feel? And something so simple seems to be a life-changing product.
PeelAways are so much easier when he does wake up at night than when you're dealing with something like this, which is hard and noisy, right? You can hear it, right?
And what is that, if you don't mind describing that?
It's can you see
Yeah.
it? So this is, so that goes over the bed, folds over, and then you're trying to get this underneath the mattress so it doesn't go all over the place, and it's awful.
And that's called an overlay, correct?
That's called an overlay.
Understood.
And this is the better of the overlays, because when I first toilet trained Adrian at night, I couldn't even find any ones that had flaps. So these have flaps to go under the bed, but you got to try and get it under the bed,
and
right?
Now with PeelAways, you've essentially completely replaced the overlays.
It's like a mattress pad, right? But it has layers, right? So what's great about it, it's like a mattress pad a typical person would buy, but it has layers, so it's better. So if, like Adrian, were having this accident, probably like 4:30, 5 o'clock this morning, he didn't wake up. So when I got him up at 7:30 for his program, I'm like, Adrian, you're wet. So then I had to go pull off the sheet, which I'm not doing tonight, because now I realize from you that that's kind of silly, because it's not like this anymore.
Yeah.
So then, because I always thought, okay, I still need to do that. But now I don't have to do it. So when he had this accident this morning, I just pulled off the layer, easy rip off, put the comfort back on the bed, and I was done.
That's where PeelAways seems to excel and seems to be a wonderful solution.
But even more important is if somebody's like doing the nighttime toilet training like we did with Adrian. Okay, so Adrian has an accident, right? And then you have to, besides remaking the bed, right, you have to go get Adrian redressed again and everything like that. But with this, then you just easily peel off the PeelAways. The bed's done, and all you have to do is get him redressed. Which is pretending to be like people with autism. They learn by repetition, and repetition and repetition and repetition. Now with Adrian, he did great for all those years till he got the macular degeneration, put a stop on his getting up out of bed and finding us before and taking him to the bathroom. So he's regressed in that part, but it's doing the PeelAways still makes it easy to remake the bed quickly. So you're not spending 20 minutes remaking the bed, getting him redressed. Now it's like 2 minutes to remake the bed because you're peeling off the PeelAways, and not even that, probably a minute. You peel off the PeelAways, the other one's underneath, and you just put the comforter on the bed. You don't have to do anything else, and all you have to do is just change him.
Do you think Adrian understands does it make him feel, better about the situation? Does it relieve any, if there's embarrassment or anything?
No, he doesn't get that, but he does understand being wet at night.
Mm-hmm.
So he does understand that. So I was kind of surprised that he didn't wake up being wet. I think this week with the snow and his program not like starting late and everything like that, and his hours being different for his day program, and so I think it's kind of thrown him off a bit. But usually if he's wet, he wakes up.
Yeah.
And he complains to us. Right?
And so like the traditional way with the overlay and normal bed sheet, I just spoke to a customer yesterday where sometimes they just said it was such a large accident that they simply just threw out the comforter, threw out the bed sheet, threw out everything, because from my understanding, it's not as simple if it's fecal incontinence. You have to soak, the other alternatives, the overlay in some sort of disinfectant, and then you have to do the laundry. You have to have backups.
Oh yeah, you have to if it's the comforter gets wet, you have to rewash the comforter, and they're not small. Yeah. He has a full-size comforter, so yeah, you get it in there, and you have to wash it, and then you have to put it in the dryer and everything like that. It's a big deal, yeah, so, but not. Having the PeelAways definitely makes it easier, because when I first did the toilet training with him, I didn't have a PeelAways, and I had this stuff, and these don't wash well.
Yeah,
and they're probably bulkier than putting a comforter into a washing machine.
Yep. So having a disposal,
because they have a plastic back like that.
Yeah.
Which you see. That they don't dry as easy either. Because it's a plastic back.
Yep.
You can't just throw it away like the PeelAways, that one little layer.
And so PeelAways does have a microporous laminate, it is 100% waterproof, correct? It's 100% leak proof. Nothing goes down to the next layer.
No, it doesn't. But what's great is it's not hard plastic like the overlay. And it doesn't feel, and it's not noisy like the overlay. And it's softer feeling, and you feel like it's just a regular bed. It's 100 times better, because it doesn't leak, and you get rid of that layer, and it just, because with the comforters, not only that, but if it moves during the night, the overlay, you still end up missing where it's supposed to be dry, and your bed ends up getting wet.
So before you discovered the overlay, does Adrian's bed have a waterproof barrier between the mattress and Adrian? What was the traditional way? Was it like a mattress protector?
It was a mattress protector. But then I had the overlays on top of it.
And then,
it's, and because, when we first decided that, because we had tried doing overnight training with him before and it didn't work. You had to that the fact that we couldn't, when we tried doing daytime training, it didn't work till he was 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then everybody said, don't worry about the nighttime. And then I thought, at some point we should work on the nighttime training, because if he gets into a group home one day, right, then the more, at that point we were told, the more self that he can take care of himself when it comes to toilet training and stuff like that, then he'll get into a better group home, which is a joke because we've been trying for 2 years to get him into a group home at this point. And because of his needing one-on-one help and being with his sight, something one level, it's a nightmare, which we love Adrian. We'd love for him to be with us forever, but we know that it'd be better for him to get into a group home while we're able to make sure he gets into something nice. So anyway, so with 11 years of age, we came across the 7, the nighttime training and that book. And
who wrote that book?
Wireless that I showed you that they have at the toilet training store, which I'm like, that would be such a perfect match if you're going to do nighttime training. The Rogers with the PeelAway, easy to get the Rogers on and off. It takes a minute. Easy to get the PeelAway on and off. Less than a minute, And I'm thinking they were, if they met, they would be a perfect marriage. That's all I could say.
This is why it's so important.
And the Rogers, which if you get a hold of this, Renee, that they are a perfect combination, because it would make it so much easier for parents to work on nighttime toilet training. And then, because they're not going to say, oh, wow, all of a sudden nice toilet training. This is stuff that in 3 months, it took 3 months. We were like, yeah, it only took us 3 months. So parents have to be patient, so they shouldn't. So for us to say, wow, we got him toilet training at 11 years of age at night in 3 months, that was brilliant, because the daytime toilet training took us a year.
Wow, you would think the nighttime would be harder.
You would think the nighttime, but because we had the day, and if we were to do it again, we would do the nighttime and daytime toilet training together, because I thought it would benefit each other.
Yeah.
But the fact that he had the daytime toilet training and the nighttime toilet training, and the Rogers made it easier, because when we first tried the nighttime training, it was the basic ones that you had to take a pin and clip it in here and clip it in there and clip it in there. But with the Rogers, snap it into a snap in. You if you need to put a new one in, you just snap it in. If you go to the bed and you look at the Rogers, how easy it is, which is how easy the PeelAway is. They are such a perfect match together. To me, it would make it so much easier for parents to do nighttime toilet training.
I'm excited to learn more about Rogers. I'm not familiar with it. What is it a brief?
It's a brief, but so you have the brief one, right? And you say you just snap it on. So when you go to the bed wedding store, and it'll show you right away nighttime alarm. So it's alarm. So it's like it's pants, and on that pants it has like a little thing that sets off the alarm. But it has like how easy the PeelAway is to just peel away, and you have another layer. You have the Roger. It's wet. You pop off the alarm. You snap on another alarm, and it takes like seconds.
Fascinating. And when it comes to the Rogers, so that's a brief, and
it's with the alarm.
With an alarm. So from my please.
So we were doing the toilet training for the nighttime. We bought like 6 or 8 briefs, which then, so that way, because if he gets wet, you have to change the alarm. You have to pop out the alarm, put a new brief on. So which is like the the peel away. You had the peel away. You change the peel away. Say he's wet again, you just peel off that next layer where you would be the same way with the Roger. You just snap off the alarm, take off the brief, quickly put on a new pair of briefs, snap on the alarm.
So we have many of our customers, they follow your recommendations, they try all these new briefs and technology. So from what it sounds like, you use the Roger. It's a wonderful tool, but sometimes it leaks and it goes down to the mattress.
It leaks because, well, that's the thing you want. You want it to be wet because you want him to be aware that he's wet. So the alarm snaps. The alarm goes beep, 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 and he's aware of the wetness and he feels it, which you want. Which when we did the daytime toilet training, it was... We started when he was 6 years old. We had tried earlier, it didn't work, so we're trying again. So we said to his school, we said, he's coming back to school and he's coming in regular underwear, and that's it. So during that week break, we just worked on him going to the toilet, and if he had an accident, well, what we did, we spent like 3 weeks beforehand getting an idea when he has accidents and when he didn't have accidents, so we'd have an idea. So on his week off, we would take him, and if he had an accident, we learned from a woman called Robin Allen, who was a behavioral specialist. Take him to the toilet 3 times if he has an accident. Just keep taking him back right away. So you have an accident, you got to go to the toilet.
The repetition.
So what we did was we did toilet training for him at that point, where we did it time wise, so he started going beforehand, so it took a year, so that way when we did the nighttime toilet training, at that point he knew how to go to the bathroom and what it was to feel wet. So basically with the Roger, it basically, you want him to feel wet. So he sets off the alarm because he's not getting it on his own yet. So when we first started, we realized that he was waking up, or he was having accidents like 4 times a night, 5 times a night, because his body was not aware of it at night. So the Roger, boom, beep, 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 and then he became aware of being wet at night too, and waking up beforehand.
Excellent. It sounds like such a wonderful tool. And it sounds like they've been around for a while, so I have
the Rogers, I think they've been around. And well, she's been, because this Renee Mercer, she was
Can I see the title, the front of the book?
7 Steps to Nighttime Training.
By Renee Mercer. Excellent.
Renee Mercer. So she was a nurse, and at a pediatrician's office, and I think she did a lot of the toilet training issues for people. So that's why she decided to make this website to help parents with toilet training issues. And when I came across this, and I bought the book, and then the alarms that you have to use, hook up, and then with a bobby pin type thing, awful. So who wants to put their kid to bed and say, I hope my kid doesn't get stuck by a pin?
Oh, yeah.
Right? And this is great because the Roger snaps onto the pants.
Understood.
And snaps off quickly and snaps. And so it was great. So between that, and then when you when I saw you on the Today Show, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to get this. It was like, wow. And I know that you were on the Shark Tank at one point, but they didn't do anything with you, no one?
Not one person. I was going after college students at the time. That's why I'm so thankful to learn from you and your experiences.
Don't you think you should go on again?
I believe if we went on and said there's a 31-year-old gentleman named Adrian, and this has been a wonderful product for him and his family, that there's 60 million family caregivers in the United States, of which, from my understanding, 12 to 18 million people suffer from weekly incontinence.
Yes.
When you're changing a sheet at 2 a.m., it allows for quick 60-second change.
Absolutely.
I wish, I was a naive young college student then, and I believe if we painted the story a little differently and had a,
Really,
consumer like you.
because there's times where Adrian, like, he woke up 8 times last night. That's a pretty good, for Adrian, that's good. Seriously. On average, he wakes up, if he's having a really good night, he'll wake up 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not well, he can wake up, the worst he's done is like 26 times. So he can wake up God knows how many times a night. And if he doesn't feel well, he has more accidents.
So what does a typical night look like? So when Adrian goes to sleep, is he in any special clothes and special briefs, or he just goes straight to bed right on PeelAways?
Well, no, but when before the macular degeneration got worse, I mean, when he was just legally blind and all that stuff, he was pretty good, and if he had an accident, he would wake up, or he'd wake up before an accident. But with the macular degeneration, it just, and this was around COVID. Everything went backwards for him, regressed when it came to nighttime toilet training. So at that point, at some point, we said, you know what? We're killing ourselves. Because he would be on regular briefs, but it was like some point where it was becoming a nightmare. And we said, we have to take a step backwards, and we have to put him in men's depends at night, because it's killing us. So this is what we do, because sometimes you have to say, I can't do everything. We can't. And we have to say sometimes, especially with a disability, that you have to go backwards and say, for everybody's being able to sleep at night, where he would be so wet that. So now we just have the depends, quickly change the depends, take the depends off, quickly put on the depends, quickly change the PeelAway.
So the depends.
So instead of being a half-hour nightmare, right, with the regular underwear, now it takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But now it's going to take less, because you're right. I don't have to sit there and put sheets on top of the PeelAways. So I said to my husband, when you told me that, I was like, oh my God, so now it'll even be quicker. Now it'll be minutes, like a couple minutes, less than 5 minutes to take off the PeelAway, change Adrian, and put him back into bed.
So Adrian goes to sleep with the depends, and sometimes the depends leaks, and that's where PeelAways is this magical tool.
Yes, absolutely. Because even with the depends, sometimes for some reason, sometimes he could not drink a lot that night, or he didn't drink a lot that day, but for some reason his body pees out a lot for some reason. And sometimes where you think he would have an accident, he doesn't. His mind works really weird.
So it's always unexpected, and when you do when this happens, when PeelAways is the most useful, it happens when Adrian, is wearing a brief or a depends, and the depends, it still leaks out.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating. Yeah. No, thank you.
So I would say, if I look on like all his stuff, like one night, this night, he woke up 13 times, and he had an accident at 11:19. Well, if he had an accident at 11:19, that means then I had to do a PeelAway, put a new PeelAway.
So PeelAways allows him to go to sleep, go back to sleep quicker, allows you to go back to sleep quicker as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's wonderful that it helps, everyone.
Which means if he ever gets into a group home, right, then as I said to you, if he gets in a group home, his PeelAways are going with him. Because I want whatever caregiver who's taking care of him at night to be able to not be sitting there having to redo the whole sheets and all that stuff, and making it easier for her or him and Adrian.
Because
So if he gets in group home, PeelAways goes with him.
Because everybody should go back to sleep. Everybody should go back to sleep quicker.
Yes,
of course.
exactly. And also, if Adrian goes to a group home, he's going to be at the group home during the week, but he's going to be with us during the weekend, which means we need PeelAways for him.
Wonderful. So, I'm so thankful for the conversation again today. You know, you mentioned during COVID, you know, our supply chain, you know, you knew more about my business. So during COVID.
My God. I was so scared that you guys, I swear to God, I was scared you guys were going out of business, and I was heartbroken. I'm like, please don't go out of business. And I was looking everywhere and I would even have bought the queen or king size and made them work if I had to with Adrian's bed, because I love your product so much. I love the PeelAways
Here I go
so
again.
much.
Here I go again.
And you should really, if you go on Shark Tank again, Adrian would be very happy, and I'd be very happy to say that you made our lives so much easier with the PeelAways. And think of people with people with Alzheimer's. At some point, they were able to go to the bathroom, but getting Alzheimer's, at some point, they can't.
Yep.
You know, they're probably in the same boat as Adrian at this point, cognitively, right? And then their caregivers would love PeelAways too, because who wants to be sitting there or the nurse or whatever, it's spending half an hour redoing the whole bed?
Yeah.
No one.
And, you know, when it comes to, you know, the cost of the product, it's worth every penny.
Every penny. It makes our life, the quality of our life, so much better. I have to say, I still have these in the closet but I never ever want to have to use those again. Because the PeelAways, they make everybody's quality of life better.
That's so wonderful.
And that's what it's about. Because it's not who's taking care of it. The caregiver, the parent, or even little typical little kids who have issues at night, or babies, because I know you have baby ones. For that parent who says, they're that pool, they're the little baby, for that, because they do leak too. Yeah.
So I am so thankful again for having the conversation. I'm going to keep you as close as I can. Get
a hold of Renee. I know this week with all the snow and everything. I mean, and next week we're supposed to get snow, but get a hold of her, because I'm telling you, if you get a hold of her and you can say that I, who bought from her, that that she has to have your product in stock, and that maybe she can do a thing where, like a special with doing the Roger and the PeelAways for the toilet training.
No, I will make sure she gets this message, and make sure that we work closer together. We're in the same industry, and we have products that synergize together, that work closely together. Because when I talk to other customers or read many of our reviews, everyone does the rightest thing. They wear the brief or the diaper. They use some sort of pad, whether it's disposable or reusable, and those simply don't solve the issue when it comes to the in the middle of the night sheet changes. In many cases, I hear customers saying, I've had to throw away my entire mattress.
Yeah.
Just because the incontinence or fecal incontinence gets soaked into it. I interviewed a customer yesterday where she just said, I asked her, what is the alternative? What was the traditional way? She goes, when it's in the middle of the night, I just throw the fecal incontinent bedsheet outside. I don't know what else to do. I don't have time to soak it, wash it, scrape it off. I just throw it outside. And, the normal traditional bed sheets are essentially disposable to us. Sometimes I even just throw out the clothing. I just can't take it anymore. And then when I learned about PeelAways, We don't have to use any fancy clothing, any fancy tools or diapers, and we have some customers who are veterans, where the children say to us, Maxwell, your product has been a wonderful solution for us because my father refuses to wear a brief, and so we just put him on directly on PeelAways, and he doesn't even know he's on it.
Yeah, but also I'd say one other thing is, like, another big thing is, it's when my husband has gone out of town, or I went to visit my brother last year, and Adrian has an accident, and you're doing it on your own. It makes it even harder. So the fact that, like, when my husband goes out of town, great, I can manage on my own. When I go out of town, since COVID, it's a different story. Adrian freaks out, right? So he's having terrible accidents, and got the PeelAways, and you can clean it up and all that so much quicker than when you have something like this, which is a nightmare. Because with him, thank goodness, he even called our old babysitter to come help because he was having such a hard time on his own. But with me, or with him, even with needing help from our old babysitter, having the PeelAway, that part, if he didn't have the PeelAway, it would have been a total nightmare, because Adrian's having accidents, he's having diarrhea because I'm not there, and he's freaking out because after COVID, I was his main person for all that time, that if I'm away, he just freaks out. This is why we want to get him into a group home, because we realize better to get this situated now. And so having the PeelAway, when there's an accident or a big accident like what my husband was dealing with when I went out of town for 3 nights, and he's freaking out, Adrian, and having the PeelAway makes it bearable, to deal with all that.
Adrian is so lucky to have you and your husband, and I'm so thankful to be part of your everyday life and continuing to
that's why you really have to go on Shark Tank again. If anybody should be on Shark Tank, you really have to go back on Shark Tank and I realized, that making this thing as a young college student, I didn't realize how I was going to affect other people, and that's why I'm back.
Yep, and because other people.
Everybody. I would bet you that, I don't know, but I bet Bruce Willis's wife, they use your product, they use PeelAway and all, you can't live. I don't think that any special person who has somebody who they love who's special needs, you have really probably the best product out there.
Okay.
You do.
All right.
You do. I can't tell you how many nights you saved us from being up all night trying to do this.
No, thank you so much.
You can only have so many of these, and then you have to wash them, and the PeelAway makes life quick and easy.
I am so thankful for you.
I'm thankful too, Maxwell.
For letting me know. I wish I reached out to you sooner so I could have learned this story. This is going to make me fight even harder to make sure that PeelAways is in every community that we believe needs it, or that needs it. So this story has motivated me times 1,000, even though I'm so motivated anyway. But meeting a real life customer, I want to say stranger, but you're no longer a stranger.
And you have to get on Shark Tank again. I swear to God. I'm telling you, look at those sharks. Do you think that they have loved ones who are special needs or have some disease that now has regressed their ability to sleep like, a typical person who knows to get up in the middle of the night, who no longer had that ability or never really had that ability? So
and we all know somebody.
You have to go back on Shark Tank.
I've learned we all know somebody.
Exactly.
Everyone tells me, and America's getting older and older.
Yes.
everyone is familiar. No, you've helped. I wish I met you years ago where you could help me refine it. Where we all know somebody that I needs a tool that can allow
Yeah.
them to go back to sleep, allow their loved one to go back to sleep, and just make the hygiene part so much easier. The woman that I interviewed yesterday, people going through some really tough times.
Yeah.
Her husband's on hospice and her mother's on hospice, and she's taking care of both of them at the same time. And so, she uses PeelAways on both their beds. And, these are the stories that are just unbelievable. I have to get the word out more to to all these communities, because you're coming from, Adrian, a wonderful kid, that gentleman that has special needs, to, elderly parents, and every single one of those sharks knows somebody in that situation, or they're going through it themselves.
Okay, so one last thing.
Please.
Make a t-shirt. You make a t-shirt, you send me one for Adrian in large with saying PeelAway on the front, and then saying .com and what the product is on the back, and Adrian will wear it. We love to watch cars, and the weather gets nice, and you can make it a short sleeve t-shirt, long sleeve t-shirt, and he will wear it.
I'll have one sent out next week.
We stand in front of Target and we watch cars. We watch people come in from the parking lot. We watch the cars. We watch people drive by. We go to Walmart. We go into Walmart. We go every store. I want to get Adrian out. I want him to be part of society. So, then we stand on Rockville Pike watching cars. We watch cars everywhere. So we stand there, and he's standing there being an advertisement.
I would be honored. I'll make sure that I get him a whole, from a hat to the shirt to a sweatshirt.
Well, he won't wear a hat, but my husband might wear a hat.
And then on top of that, I'd love to meet Adrian. I'd love to meet you guys. This is really, really wonderful. I'm about to cry again, but this story is what I need. If I could reach out to you in the future when I do talk to one of these, sharks, or talk to one of these news stations, if I could have you help me.
Absolutely, because I really want you to be in business forever. I swear to God, because I really, when COVID happened and you guys had that problem where no products were going out, I was so scared. I was so worried. I was so upset. I was like, oh no. So I really, really want you to be in business forever. I want Adrian to be sleeping on PeelAways forever. I want wherever, if he ever gets to a group home, to be buying him PeelAways to have in there forever. I'm a PeelAway hoarder in the basement. I haven't told my husband that, but I am, because he doesn't go to the back of the basement. I have all this stuff in the back of the basement. So I always have to have my PeelAways for Adrian,
Excellent. So, what size t-shirt do you think Adrian would wear?
Large.
Awesome. I will make sure to get a customized t-shirt for Adrian. And I am so thankful for you, helping spread the word and the joy that you have.
Yeah, so PeelAway.com, and then you can even, like, on the back of it or underneath, say what it is. Because guess what? I'll be standing there in front of Target, in front of Walmart, in front of PetSmart, and people be like, people will notice, people ask, and people talk to us, because Adrian is everybody's his friend, and the supermarket.
You tell me. I would love to even have Adrian, if we want to get him out and about as like a spokesperson, it would be an honor to have him, if he wants to, put in some work, we'll make sure to, keep him busy, keep him sharp.
He's non-verbal,
but I understand. But if this makes him proud, if he understands that he's helping a larger cause, it would be so wonderful.
Understand, because I really believe that there's so many more families out there that if they knew more people about your product, that it should be in the supermarket. I know it's on Amazon. I know it's on Walmart, but I just think even in the stores,
I agree.
if it was something that somebody could go into Walmart, or maybe you guys get into Target and you're in Target, that people could buy there. They don't even have to, they know if I need to get some and I need them this minute, I
Yeah.
could walk into Walmart or to Amazon where I would be, because I want to know I always have stock. So that's why I have where it's coming to me all the time
Yeah.
for Adrian. So I know I have them for him.
So wonderful. Where are you located again?
In Rockville, Maryland.
Oh, that's okay. So that's close to
Yeah.
me. So
Yeah.
if it's
So
okay.
I grew up in Baltimore.
Okay, so I'm in New York City, so you're probably
Yeah.
within 4 to 6 hour drive, if not
Yeah.
even sooner. Amtrak or a plane. So let me see what I could do. I don't want to intrude too hard, but if there's a way that potentially I could hand deliver.
Oh, sure. We're here.
Okay.
Robert's going to go visit a 103-year-old mom on the 9th of February. 103.
God bless.
So for a week, but Adrian and I were here, and Robert's here otherwise. You were here all the time
So
because so we are here.
Wonderful. I will make sure he gets some custom clothing, and if there's a way for me to even hand deliver it and meet Adrian, it would be such a wonderful solution.
We live in Rockville, and we live in a community called King Farm, which is very nice. When we lived in, grew up in Baltimore, went to New York for 6 years, FIT.
Right here.
And then I met my husband in Chicago. Then we went to Boston for 10 years, and now we've been living here since 1999. But we're here. We're definitely here. So anytime we're here, really, seriously.
All right. No, I will personally hand deliver, and I am so excited to meet you one day in person. You are no longer a stranger. I consider you family now.
Thank
And
you, Maxwell.
I will
And
make sure for the rest of the time.
You got to get Shark Tank to look at PeelAways again and understand that being a college student, you thought you were just doing it for you, but you have a greater calling with it now. And that's what I think it is. It's true. It's true, though. It is. I think you don't even realize how what you made affects so many families.
No, at first I didn't.
You should be proud of yourself. I could just say you should be proud of yourself because you really have done something so simple, something so easy can make the quality of so many people's lives easier. Us as parents, Adrian as a person getting to sleep on it, the caregivers that how many people, for a simple thing that you thought you were doing just for yourself, has affected so many people, Maxwell.
Thank you.
So that's why Adrian needs t-shirts, yeah.
Thank you.
So that way he can be on the ground showing it, especially as the weather is getting warmer.
Yeah.
And when the weather gets warmer in the spring and he's wearing them and people go, oh my God, oh, I need that. I need that for my family. I need this for my loved one, my husband, my wife, my grandmother, my grandfather, my children.
Yes. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to you again. And I will make sure Adrian has a whole wardrobe's worth of PeelAways. And, if it's even possible, I could give him his own landing page that if somebody uses his personal link, there could be...
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, so he would get a contribution for all products that he spreads the word to do.
I still don't understand that.
So it would say, just imagine it would be PeelAways.com/Adrian. And so if somebody went to that specific link, you would get a cut of the sale. Just so Adrian is, make sure that he gets compensated for his hard work.
Well, I really think that's wonderful, but I think it's great. But I also want people who maybe don't have the money to get the PeelAways and be able to get the PeelAways.
Excellent. So we could do the vice versa, where we would give the discount on for, in the name of Adrian.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I would like that. I would take that.
Perfect.
Because, I said, lucky enough, we're doing fine.
Okay.
And my husband's, knock on wood, is doing fine. So because I know if I would need to get Adrian PeelAways, I'm going to get Adrian PeelAways, right?
Yeah.
So I like that.
I appreciate the honesty. So thank you so, so much. We will be in touch. You're such a wonderful, joyful person. You make me blush. You make me cry. You make me laugh. You give me the reality. And I'm just so thankful to have you as a friend now.
Oh, thank you, Maxwell. Have a great warm weekend, and maybe next weekend you'll be able to get a hold of Renee, because you belong on their website.
I appreciate it, and if you have any other warm introductions, or if you know anybody in these communities that you would like me to talk to, I would be honored to make any introduction and talk to anyone that you tell me I need to.
Okay. Thank you, Max.
Thank you so much.
And have a great weekend.
Stay warm.
Stay warm.
Tell Adrian I said hi.
You're as cold as we are.
I think we're on the exact same weather pattern over here.
Yes, we are.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maxwell.